Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, believers in the power of resilience, today I want to talk to you about something that we all face, something that can challenge our peace, our strength, and our very sense of self, our problems. We all have them, whether they're big or small, seen or unseen, personal or professional, problems are a part of life. But there's one piece of wisdom I want to share with you today. Don't tell people your problems. Now, I know what you're thinking, but don't we need support? Don't we need someone to talk to? Don't we need help? And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do need support. You need encouragement, you need a listening ear, but not everyone is capable of carrying your burden or truly understanding your struggle. Not everyone you speak to has the capacity to offer you the right solutions, and often they may just magnify the weight of your problems. When you share your struggles too freely with others, you're giving them permission to shape your reality based on their own limited understanding. Not everyone will respond with empathy or encouragement. Some will listen with judgment, others with indifference, and still others will use what you share to gossip or criticize. And so your private struggles become public fodder, and you lose the power of your own narrative. I want to remind you that there is power in silence. There is strength in keeping your struggles between you and your inner circle, your faith, and your personal drive to overcome. Your problems are like weights too heavy for anyone else to carry, but with the right focus, with the right determination, you can lift them, you can rise above them. You don't need validation from every person you meet to know that you're capable of winning. And let me say this, don't be afraid of your problems. They are not a reflection of your weakness, they are a testament to your strength. You are capable of handling more than you think. And sometimes when you talk too much about your problems, you start to see yourself as just the sum of those problems rather than the sum of your resilience, your grace, and your willpower. Don't let anyone reduce you to your struggles. I encourage you to find other outlets for your challenges. Speak to the ones who will not just listen but help you grow. Speak to mentors, counselors, or people who have walked through the fire themselves and come out stronger. And most importantly, speak to yourself. Speak to your spirit, to your faith, and to the God who created you to overcome. When you face problems, the world doesn't need to know the details. What they need to see is your progress, your growth, your strength in the face of adversity. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your faith speak louder than your fears. Let your resilience shine brighter than your struggles. Remember, your problems are not your identity. And when you don't tell people your problems, you create space for people to see the greatness in you. You create room for solutions, for victories, and for the kind of strength that can't be defeated. So next time you're feeling weighed down by life, know that you have everything you need within you to carry that load. Keep your head up, keep your heart strong, and remember, don't tell people your problems. Show them your victories. When we go through difficult times, it's natural to want to share our struggles with others. We might seek advice, validation, or simply someone to listen. But there's wisdom in the idea that sometimes it's better to guard your struggles, to keep some things private. The reality is that not everyone you speak to is equipped to handle your challenges, and the consequences of oversharing can often be more detrimental than helpful. When we are vulnerable and open up about our problems, we're giving others a piece of ourselves. It's important to remember that not everyone who listens has the capacity to truly understand. Some people may only listen with judgment, others with curiosity, and still others with a sense of detachment. There's a risk in telling people your problems without considering the emotional impact it may have on them and the influence it could have on how they view you. Not everyone will respond with empathy or the desire to see you thrive. Instead, they might respond with advice that comes from their own limited experience, or worse, they might listen only to gossip or judge you without offering meaningful support. This is where guarding your struggles comes into play. By keeping certain aspects of your life to yourself, you maintain the power to control how your story unfolds. When we share too much, we often expose ourselves to criticism or advice that isn't helpful and might even make us second-guess our own decisions. People who are not close to us, who haven't experienced the same things we've been through, may offer opinions that are uninformed or not in line with our personal values or goals. In these situations, their words can complicate our path rather than ease the burden. There is also the risk of oversharing in a way that makes others see us through the lens of our struggles rather than our potential. If we constantly talk about our problems, people can start to define us by them. Instead of being seen as someone capable of growth, resilience, and achievement, we risk being pigeonholed into the identity of our difficulties. Our lives, our worth, and our future should never be reduced to just the problems we face. They are temporary, and we are more than any challenge we encounter. When we share our struggles too openly, we give others permission to view us through the filter of what's going wrong, rather than through the lens of who we are or we are becoming. Furthermore, we often fail to consider how much emotional weight we place on others when we unload our problems. Not everyone is prepared to handle the weight of someone else's struggles. There's an emotional toll that comes with listening to someone else's burdens. While we may seek understanding and compassion, some people may feel overwhelmed by the intensity of what we share. They may not know how to react, or they may carry the weight of our issues with them long after the conversation is over. This is not to say that people aren't capable of being supportive, but it's important to recognize that we each have our limits. Just as we need emotional boundaries in our own lives, we must also be mindful of the emotional boundaries of others. Unchecked venting or oversharing can lead to unintentional harm, leaving both parties drained and without a solution. This is why it's crucial to guard your struggles. Not every person you meet is worthy of hearing your deepest pains. You must be selective about who you trust with your challenges. The people who are truly equipped to support you are those who understand not just the problem, but who you are as a whole person. These individuals know your heart, your intentions, and your strengths. They understand that your struggles do not define you, but that you have the power to overcome them. They listen with empathy, offer guidance based on wisdom and experience, and give you the space to heal and grow. These are the people who won't let you get lost in your problems. They will help you see the way out and encourage you to keep moving forward. Guarding your struggles doesn't mean that you should never talk about them. It means being thoughtful about when, where, and to whom you share your pain. It's important to find outlets for your emotions and frustrations, but not every conversation needs to be about what's going wrong. By being selective, you ensure that you are only sharing with those who will uplift you and help you move forward. This selective sharing is not about isolation, but about creating a healthy space for healing and growth. When you guard your struggles, you also protect your peace of mind. Sometimes keeping things to yourself is the healthiest choice, especially when the world around you seems full of noise and opinions. In those moments, the best thing you can do is retreat into yourself, reflect on your thoughts and emotions, and find ways to cope that empower you rather than leave you feeling vulnerable. You don't need to expose yourself to unnecessary judgment or unsolicited advice. Taking time to process your emotions on your own allows you to reconnect with your inner strength and clarity, which is often clouded when too many outside influences weigh in on your situation. There's also the matter of your energy. When we share too many problems, we can inadvertently invite negativity into our lives. By constantly talking about what's wrong, we may find ourselves surrounded by more negativity. People who feed into our anxieties or reinforce our doubts can drain us, even if they mean well. Guarding your struggles means protecting your mental and emotional energy. It means preserving your focus for the things that matter most: your growth, your healing, and your journey toward better days. Finally, guarding your struggles allows you to take control of your own story. When you choose what to share and what to keep private, you are maintaining the power to shape your narrative. You decide who you are and how you will respond to challenges. You are not at the mercy of others' judgments or opinions. By keeping certain things to yourself, you allow yourself to be the author of your own life, not just a character reacting to circumstances. You are in control of how you heal, how you move forward, and how you ultimately emerge stronger than before. There is immense power in silence, especially when it comes to dealing with life's challenges. While it may seem counterintuitive in an age where we're encouraged to speak out, to express ourselves, and to be open about our struggles, silence often offers a greater strength than we realize. In the face of adversity, choosing silence over verbalizing every difficulty can become a tool for empowerment, clarity, and inner peace. First and foremost, silence allows us to maintain control over our emotions. When we're faced with problems, the urge to talk about them may be strong. We want validation, sympathy, or advice. However, the act of talking about our troubles can sometimes amplify our emotions, making them feel larger and more overwhelming. The more we speak about our challenges, the more we rehash them, and the more they can consume our thoughts and energy. In contrast, silence creates the space for us to process our feelings without the external influence of others' reactions. It's in this quiet space that we can allow our emotions to settle and gain perspective. By not speaking immediately, we prevent ourselves from making rash decisions or saying things we might regret later. Silence gives us the opportunity to step back and reflect before reacting, which is an essential step toward emotional stability. Furthermore, silence protects our personal peace. The world is filled with noise, opinions, judgments, gossip, and unsolicited advice. It's easy to become distracted by the constant input from others, especially when it comes to our struggles. When we share our problems with the wrong people or too many people, we invite external judgment, comparison, and sometimes even pity. This can distort our view of the situation and make us feel more vulnerable. By choosing silence, we keep our internal dialogue free from the noise of others' opinions. We can stay focused on our own thoughts and emotions without being swayed by the judgments or projections of others. This inner peace is crucial to maintaining clarity and resilience in the face of adversity. When we protect our peace through silence, we are able to think more clearly, act more decisively, and respond more thoughtfully. Moreover, silence fosters resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, and it's built through the way we choose to face adversity. When we choose silence instead of oversharing, we are choosing to face our problems head-on with strength and determination. Instead of letting our issues define us or seeking validation from others, we take ownership of our struggles and face them quietly with grace. In doing so, we build mental toughness. Resilience isn't about ignoring our problems, it's about facing them in a way that strengthens us. Silence allows us to approach challenges from a place of inner power, unshaken by external influences. It enables us to navigate through the storm without losing sight of the fact that we have the strength to endure. By choosing silence, we are reminding ourselves that we are capable of handling what life throws our way, no matter how difficult it may seem in the moment. Moreover, silence creates an environment for growth. Sometimes the more we talk about our problems, the more we reinforce them. We may unintentionally create a narrative where our challenges become the focal point of our identity. But by remaining silent, we give ourselves the chance to shift our focus away from the problem and toward the solutions. Silence allows us to tap into our creativity and resourcefulness, to find new ways of thinking and problem solving that we might not have considered before. It's in the quiet moments that we can truly connect with our inner potential and discover new strengths. In silence, we find the space to grow, to evolve, and to transform our circumstances into opportunities for personal development. Finally, silence creates a powerful sense of self-reliance. It's easy to rely on others for advice, support, or even sympathy when we're struggling, but the more we do so, the less we tap into our own ability to cope and thrive. By choosing silence, we challenge ourselves to find strength within. We give ourselves the opportunity to rely on our own judgment, resilience, and creativity. This process of self-reliance doesn't mean we never need others, but rather that we learn to trust ourselves more deeply. When we embrace silence, we reclaim our independence and reinforce the belief that we have the power to handle whatever comes our way. The act of choosing silence is not about avoidance or denial of our problems. It's about creating a space where we can connect with ourselves, protect our peace, and allow our inner strength to guide us. It's in this silence that we find our truest power that doesn't depend on the approval or input of others, but on the belief that we have the resilience, the wisdom, and the ability to face our challenges with grace. In silence, we become our own greatest ally, and it's in this space that we find the peace and clarity we need to move forward. The idea of seeking the right support in times of struggle is one that often gets overlooked in our modern, fast-paced world. We tend to reach out to those around us, hoping for advice or simply someone to lean on, without fully considering whether the person we're sharing with is the right fit for providing the help we need. Support is essential when facing life's challenges, but not all support is created equal. The quality of support you receive is far more important than the quantity. It's not enough to simply talk to anyone. You must be strategic in choosing those who can offer the right kind of assistance, those who will uplift, guide, and encourage you in ways that genuinely help you overcome your struggles. The first key to seeking the right support is understanding that not everyone has the capacity to truly help you. While many people may care about you and may be well-meaning, they may not have the tools, experience, or emotional capacity to offer the kind of support that will actually be beneficial. Support comes in many forms, and it's crucial to recognize the difference between surface-level support, those who listen because they feel obligated or because they want to be seen as helpful, and deep, transformative support that comes from individuals who are genuinely invested in your well-being. People who may be empathetic but lack experience or understanding of what you're going through might inadvertently make you feel misunderstood, or they may offer advice that's not realistic for your situation. Support should never be about trying to meet someone else's expectations. It should be about helping you move forward in a way that is grounded in your reality. One of the key factors in seeking the right support is ensuring that the person you turn to has a deep understanding of the challenges you are facing. Those who have been through similar struggles themselves or who are able to see things from your perspective are often better equipped to offer advice that resonates. The people who have walked the path you are currently walking have wisdom that can only come from lived experience. They understand the emotional toll it takes, the ups and downs of the journey, and the perseverance required to push through the difficult moments. Their support is not based on theory or abstract advice, but on a real practical understanding of what it takes to overcome adversity. These are the individuals who will not just sympathize with you, but will truly empathize because they have been where you are. But it's not only about finding someone who has gone through similar experiences. It's also important to choose people who know how to listen. Too often we turn to those around us only to find that they're quick to offer solutions before fully understanding the problem. While advice can be helpful, sometimes what we need most is simply to be heard. The right support comes from those who can listen without judgment, without rushing to fix the situation, and without assuming that they know what's best. When someone listens to you deeply, they create a space where you feel safe to express yourself fully, where you can speak your truth without fear of criticism or correction. The act of being truly heard can be healing in itself. It allows you to release pent-up emotions, gain clarity, and feel validated. This kind of support is essential because it helps you process your feelings and better understand your own thoughts and desires before moving toward a solution. Another aspect of seeking the right support is being mindful of who can offer constructive guidance. While it's wonderful to have people around who offer emotional support, at times what you need most is practical advice, people who can help you strategize, make informed decisions, and offer solutions that move you forward. This is where mentors, coaches, or people with expertise in the areas you're struggling with can be invaluable. These individuals have the knowledge and experience to guide you through your challenges in a way that's grounded in real-world experience. They can help you see the bigger picture, offer insights you might have missed, and give you a roadmap for how to navigate through difficult situations. Practical advice, however, doesn't always mean that everything will be easy or that solutions will be quick. The right kind of guidance will help you take the necessary steps towards solving the problem, but it will also prepare you for the long journey and the hard work it often requires. This is the kind of support that keeps you focused on progress rather than simply wallowing in the difficulty of the situation. It's also vital to consider the energy of the people you turn to for support. The individuals who lift you up are those who bring a sense of positivity, calm, and encouragement into your life. If someone's energy is negative, draining, or overly critical, their support can do more harm than good. In times of difficulty, we need people who can help us maintain a sense of hope and optimism, people who remind us that no matter how hard things seem, there is always a way forward. They encourage us to keep going even when we feel like giving up. They challenge us to grow, to learn, and to push past our current limitations. This type of positive, encouraging energy is crucial for maintaining the strength and motivation to keep moving forward. Surrounding yourself with people who energize and inspire you ensures that even in moments of doubt, you can stay focused on your goals and your path to healing. Equally important is the idea that support should be a two-way street. While you may be seeking help, it's crucial to recognize that the right people will not only support you, but will also empower you. They will encourage you to take ownership of your life and your decisions. The right support will not foster dependency. Instead, it will help you tap into your own strength and resourcefulness. These people will guide you without taking control, offering insight that empowers you to make your own choices and take charge of your circumstances. This kind of support reinforces the belief that you are capable, and it strengthens your sense of self-reliance. True support is not about solving your problems for you. It's about giving you the tools and the confidence to solve them yourself. Finally, seeking the right support means knowing when to ask for help and when to give yourself space. It's important to find a balance between leaning on others and trusting in your own ability to navigate challenges. Sometimes the most effective support is simply having the right people around you who can step in when needed and allow you the space to grow on your own. It's about surrounding yourself with people who respect your autonomy and your journey while being there when you need them most. Choosing the right support is not just about being surrounded by others, it's about being surrounded by the right people who help you grow into the best version of yourself. When we encounter difficulties in life, it's easy to let those challenges define us. We can find ourselves so caught up in the struggle that we forget that we are more than our problems. It's crucial to understand that the obstacles we face are merely temporary and do not define our worth or our future. We are not the sum of our struggles. Instead, we are the sum of our strength, our growth, and our ability to rise above adversity. The key to navigating through life's toughest moments is to recognize that your problems, no matter how overwhelming they may seem, are just a small part of your larger journey. Too often, people identify themselves by the challenges they face, internalizing those difficulties as part of their identity. When we're overwhelmed, it can feel like we're drowning in our problems, and it's easy to start thinking that we'll never escape them. This perspective can lead to feelings of hopelessness and despair. But this kind of thinking is limiting. Problems are temporary, and they are an inevitable part of life's ebb and flow. They come and go. What truly defines us is how we respond to those problems, how we handle adversity, how we persevere, and how we grow from the experience. By focusing on our response to the problem rather than the problem itself, we regain control over our own narrative. It's important to remember that we all have the ability to overcome. Life's challenges, no matter how heavy they seem in the moment, are meant to teach us, to shape us, and to help us evolve. We are constantly changing, learning, and adapting. Our ability to face and overcome our struggles reveals the depth of our character. The strength we develop in the process is often more valuable than the solution to the problem itself. When we overcome adversity, we gain confidence in our ability to handle whatever comes next. We learn not to fear challenges, but to embrace them as opportunities for growth. We start to see each obstacle as a lesson, each setback as a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The problems we face might shape our journey, but they don't define our destination. Defining yourself by your problems is a trap that can keep you stuck in a cycle of negativity. It's easy to become fixated on the pain or the difficulty of a situation, to let it consume our thoughts and to let it dictate how we see ourselves. However, when we define ourselves by our struggles, we limit our potential. We forget about all the other aspects of who we are, our talents, our strengths, our ambitions. We are multidimensional beings with many facets to our lives, and we shouldn't reduce ourselves to just the hardships we faced. Instead, we should focus on how those hardships have shaped us and how we have grown in response to them. By looking at the bigger picture, we can see that our problems are only a small part of the incredible person we are becoming. One of the keys to overcoming the tendency to define ourselves by our struggles is to change our perspective. When we see problems as part of a larger process of personal growth, we can shift our mindset from victimhood to empowerment. Instead of saying, I am dealing with this problem, we can say, I am learning from this situation and becoming stronger because of it. This small shift in perspective can have a profound impact on our ability to handle adversity. It allows us to see challenges not as obstacles that prevent us from moving forward, but as stepping stones that move us closer to becoming the person we're meant to be. This shift in perspective also involves recognizing that our problems don't last forever. No matter how difficult a situation may seem in the moment, it will eventually pass. Everything in life is temporary, including the hardest of times. By remembering that our current struggles are not permanent, we can avoid becoming trapped in a mindset that says this is all there is. In times of difficulty, it's easy to feel like there's no way out. But if we remind ourselves that our problems are temporary and that we have the strength to face them, we empower ourselves to keep going. Our problems do not have the power to define us unless we allow them to. They are merely experiences that, while challenging, will one day be behind us. The key is to keep moving forward, to keep trusting in our ability to rise above the difficulties we face. Another powerful way to prevent our problems from defining us is to focus on our accomplishments and our potential. When we reflect on all that we've already achieved in our lives, it becomes clear that we are much more than the obstacles we're currently dealing with. We have faced challenges before and emerged stronger, wiser, and more capable. We have faced fears and conquered them. We have overcome loss, disappointment, and failure, and yet here we are still moving forward, still striving to grow. These past victories remind us that we are resilient and that no matter what challenges come our way, we have the strength to handle them. In moments of difficulty, it's also helpful to focus on the future. The problems we face today are just one chapter in our story. There's so much more to come. When we define ourselves by our problems, we close ourselves off from the possibilities that lie ahead. We forget that every struggle is followed by growth, and that each challenge is simply an opportunity to become more than we were before. If we let our problems define us, we risk losing sight of the potential that exists just beyond the current moment. By choosing to focus on the future and all the possibilities it holds, we allow ourselves the freedom to move past our difficulties and toward the life we want to create. It's also important to surround ourselves with people who remind us of our worth beyond our struggles. The right people in our lives help us see ourselves in the light of our potential, not our problems. They remind us that we are capable, strong, and worthy of success and happiness no matter what challenges we face. The right people help us remember that our current problems do not diminish our value. They simply reflect that we are human, that we are living life fully, and that we are constantly growing and evolving. Their support helps us maintain perspective, and their belief in us can be the driving force that helps us move forward with confidence. Ultimately, the key to not letting your problems define you is to choose to see yourself as a work in progress. We are always becoming something greater than we were yesterday, and every challenge is simply a part of that journey. Instead of identifying ourselves by our problems, we should identify ourselves by our ability to rise above them, to learn from them, and to emerge stronger than before. We are defined not by the problems we face, but by the strength we show in the face of adversity. One of the most powerful aspects of silence, particularly in times of struggle, is that it allows us to move forward without the burden of unnecessary judgment. When we openly share our problems with others, we often invite judgments, both spoken and unspoken, which can cloud our clarity and disrupt our peace of mind. These judgments can range from well-meaning but misguided advice to harsh criticisms, and while they may come from a place of care, they can lead us to second-guess ourselves or doubt our choices. Silence, on the other hand, offers a protective shield against these judgments, enabling us to stay true to our path and move forward without being swayed by external opinions. When we openly discuss our difficulties, we often find ourselves exposed to a variety of perspectives. While some people may offer genuine support, others may unintentionally or even purposefully impose their own beliefs, experiences, or biases onto our situation. These judgments, whether they come in the form of unsolicited advice or critical remarks, can make us feel small, misunderstood, or invalidated. Even the most well-intentioned advice can sometimes feel like an imposition, as though our struggles are being minimized or that we are being told what to do without being fully understood. The problem is that these judgments rarely help us make progress. They simply add noise to the situation. They can make us feel unsure about the choices we are making or cause us to seek external validation for decisions that we should trust ourselves to make independently. When we choose silence, we create a buffer between ourselves and the judgments of others. We give ourselves the space to think clearly and to assess our situation without the clutter of outside opinions. In that silence, we are not pressured to conform to others' expectations or ways of thinking. Instead, we have the freedom to explore our own thoughts, feelings, and intuition, which allows us to make decisions based on our own understanding of the problem. This autonomy is invaluable when navigating challenges, as it empowers us to take ownership of our lives in the direction we want to go. Without the noise of judgment, we are free to choose the path that resonates most deeply with us and to trust our instincts as we move forward. Furthermore, silence allows us to cut through the clutter of judgment and maintain our inner peace. When we constantly share our struggles with others, we can inadvertently invite criticism, even if it's not intentional. These judgments can disrupt our inner calm and cause us to doubt ourselves. It's human nature to seek approval from others, and when we don't receive it, we can feel a sense of disconnection or disappointment. Silence protects us from this dynamic. When we keep our challenges to ourselves, we safeguard our peace, knowing that we are not vulnerable to the opinions or criticisms of others. This peace becomes a source of strength, as it allows us to stay focused on the task at hand without the added stress of trying to justify our decisions or explain our choices to others. Choosing silence also allows us to avoid unnecessary drama. Often when we share our problems with others, we unknowingly create a ripple effect of emotions that can draw others into the situation. This can escalate the drama, as people react to our difficulties either with sympathy, outrage, or their own opinions on what we should do. What starts as a simple conversation about a personal issue can quickly spiral into a series of judgments, gossip, and misunderstandings. Silence, however, acts as a protective barrier against this kind of drama. By choosing not to discuss our problems openly, we prevent the situation from snowballing into something bigger than it needs to be. We can process and work through our issues without dragging others into our emotional world, which helps us maintain control over the situation and ensures that we are the ones driving our own narrative. Another significant benefit of silence in the face of adversity is that it gives us the opportunity to reflect deeply. Often when we share our struggles with others, we do so in a reactive way, speaking out of frustration, confusion, or emotion. While talking about our problems can sometimes bring relief, it doesn't always lead to a deeper understanding of the issue at hand. Silence, on the other hand, allows us to step back and reflect thoughtfully. It creates the space for us to process our emotions, analyze the situation, and consider all possible outcomes. In silence, we can weigh our options without being influenced by the biases, judgments, or suggestions of others. This introspective time is crucial for personal growth because it allows us to learn from our challenges and gain clarity on what steps we need to take moving forward. Without the pressure of external opinions, we can make decisions that are grounded in self-awareness and inner wisdom. When we maintain silence in the face of our problems, we also demonstrate a level of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage our own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It involves being able to recognize when we need help and when we need space, and knowing how to respond to both our internal emotional landscape and external situations. By choosing silence over verbalizing every issue, we show that we have the emotional maturity to handle our problems in a way that doesn't invite unnecessary conflict or judgment. We understand that not every feeling or situation needs to be aired publicly. Instead, we have the ability to process our emotions privately and thoughtfully, responding to the situation in a way that is both productive and peaceful. Additionally, silence offers the opportunity to cultivate resilience. Life is full of difficulties, and the ability to face challenges head-on without being overly influenced by the opinions of others is a hallmark of resilience. When we are constantly seeking external validation or approval, we can become dependent on others for our sense of self-worth. This can make us feel fragile, as though our ability to navigate challenges is contingent on others' support or approval. By embracing silence and choosing not to share every difficulty, we build resilience. We strengthen our ability to rely on ourselves, to trust our instincts, and to endure hardships without losing our sense of self. In this way, silence fosters emotional strength and independence, allowing us to face future challenges with greater confidence and determination. In some cases, silence also enables us to discover creative solutions to our problems. Often, when we talk about our difficulties, we focus so much on the issue itself that we overlook potential solutions. The constant flow of conversation can sometimes keep us stuck in the problem rather than moving us toward resolution. Silence allows us to step back from the issue, clear our minds, and approach the problem from a fresh perspective. In this quiet space, we are more likely to think outside the box, come up with innovative ideas, and find solutions that we might have missed while caught up in the noise of external opinions. In the end, choosing silence in the face of our struggles can be a powerful tool for personal growth and emotional well-being. It protects us from unnecessary judgment, fosters inner peace, and strengthens our ability to navigate life's challenges with resilience and clarity. By trusting ourselves, listening to our inner voice, and processing our emotions privately, we can move forward in a way that is both empowered and intentional. Silence is not about avoidance, it is about creating the space for self-discovery, self-reliance, and self-growth. In that space, we can find the strength to rise above our challenges and emerge stronger than ever. One of the primary reasons we seek validation from others is because of a lack of self-confidence. When we're unsure of ourselves, we tend to look to others to tell us we're on the right track or that our feelings are justified. We want others to reassure us that we are doing enough, that we are capable, or that we are deserving of success. In these moments, we're not just looking for advice, we're looking for affirmation, for someone to tell us that we're worthy of moving forward. However, this external validation can become a trap. If we don't learn to validate ourselves, we will always be dependent on others for our sense of self-worth. This dependency can become draining as it leaves us vulnerable to the opinions of others, which can fluctuate and be inconsistent. The truth is, external validation is fleeting. People's opinions are often influenced by their own biases, experiences, and perceptions. The same words of encouragement that may uplift us today can feel hollow or discouraging tomorrow. Relying on others for validation means that we are allowing our sense of self to be dictated by external factors that we cannot control. But when we cultivate the ability to validate ourselves, we shift the power back into our own hands. Self-validation is a process of acknowledging our own worth, recognizing our achievements, and believing in our abilities regardless of what others think. When we learn to trust ourselves and believe in our potential, we no longer need constant reassurance from the outside world. Instead, we draw our confidence from the deep well of inner strength that we know we possess. Part of learning to validate ourselves is recognizing that we are the experts in our own lives. No one else can truly know what's best for us because no one else lives our experiences. Other people can offer advice, share their perspectives, and provide support, but ultimately the decisions we make and the paths we take should align with our own values, desires, and goals. This means we must trust our instincts and honor our own judgment. Often the advice we seek from others is not necessarily wrong, but it may not always be aligned with what's best for us individually. The more we learn to trust our own inner guidance, the less we will rely on others to tell us how to feel or what to do. Self-validation comes from developing the confidence to make choices that feel right for us, even if they are not popular or well understood by those around us. One of the most important aspects of self-validation is acknowledging our progress, no matter how small it may seem. It's easy to overlook our own achievements, especially when we're facing difficulties, because our focus tends to be on what's wrong or what still needs to be fixed. We get so caught up in the struggle that we forget to recognize the progress we've made. Each step forward, no matter how minor, is an accomplishment worth celebrating. When we practice self-validation, we take the time to acknowledge these small wins, which build our confidence and remind us of our capabilities. By shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have already achieved, we begin to reinforce our belief in ourselves. It's about celebrating the effort, the persistence, and the growth that we've demonstrated in the face of adversity. It's also important to recognize that validation from others can often be conditional. People may validate us when they agree with our choices or when they see us succeeding, but when we face failure or difficulty, that validation may fade. This inconsistency can leave us feeling insecure, wondering whether we are truly worthy or capable. In contrast, self-validation is unconditional. We validate ourselves regardless of our successes or failures, knowing that our worth is not dependent on the approval of others. We are worthy because we exist, because we are trying, because we are doing our best, and because we have the power to shape our own destiny. This unconditional self-validation gives us the confidence to face setbacks and to persevere, even when others may not understand or support our journey. Building the habit of self-validation doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice and patience. It means challenging the deeply ingrained habit of seeking external approval and choosing to turn inward for reassurance. It involves developing a mindset of self-worth and resilience, even in the face of adversity. Over time, as we practice self-validation, it becomes easier to trust ourselves and our decisions, and we begin to feel a greater sense of peace and confidence in our own ability to navigate life's challenges. This inner strength becomes the foundation upon which we build our lives, allowing us to rise above difficulties and move forward with purpose. Learning to validate ourselves is a crucial step in personal growth and self-empowerment. It shifts the focus from seeking approval from others to trusting our own judgment and believing in our own worth. Self-validation strengthens our ability to handle challenges, face adversity with confidence, and pursue our goals with determination. It's a powerful reminder that no matter what others may say or think, we are enough and we have everything we need within us to succeed. By choosing to validate ourselves, we reclaim our power and build the inner strength necessary to navigate life with resilience and grace. Thank you